So today I thought we'd discuss how to do deep work, which is an idea popularized by Cal Newport in a lot of his books, and I heard about it very recently in a podcast he did with Andrew Huberman, where they spoke about exactly this. And I thought I could distill it down into a shorter video of exactly how to do deep work and what practices I find benefit me in that approach. So firstly, and I think one of the keys to deep work is this idea of quality over quantity. It's this idea that it doesn't matter if you work 13 hours a day, but they're shit hours of work. It's this idea that it's better to work 5 hours where you're fully focused and in tune with what you're doing than it is to work 13 hours where every 5 minutes you're checking your phone or fucking scrolling through BBC News because you've got nothing more interesting to do. And this speaks a lot to me. I remember back in university where I'd spend a lot of my time in the library, but not really doing anything. Every 40 minutes I'd go out for a cigarette. Every 5 minutes I'd check my phone. I'd be doing shit that I didn't even find interesting, but purely because it wasn't work. I'd be sat there scrolling through like BBC Sports, looking at like the golf and shit like this. I don't care about golf. It's the deadest sport in the world, bro. But there I was, reading about the golf. So that's kind of an idea. It's about quality over quantity. It's the foundational idea of deep work. And what that moves into straight away is this idea of time blocking. And it's something that you need to be doing. So I'll put a screenshot up of my calendar at the moment. But you can see every single hour of my days are time blocked. I know what I'm doing in every hour of them. When I'm working on psychology, when I'm working on YouTube, when I'm out with my girlfriend, when I'm working at the restaurant that I work at, when I'm waking up in the morning, all of these things are time blocked. And this does a few important things. The first one is when I wake up in the morning, say at 6:30 a.m., I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, cool. So today I'm working on YouTube. So this morning, for example, I knew I was scripting videos. I time blocked that out. Today at 11:30 a.m. I started recording. Now it's 3 p.m. or coming up on 3 p.m. and I'm going to stop and start editing. My days are time blocked. And equally, once it gets to 6 p.m., even if I've not finished my editing yet, I'm going to stop and go to the gym and do whatever else. That's just how this day is going to work. I know that for a fact, and it's quite a freeing feeling. It means that I have to be very efficient with my time. I can't sit there during my time block and twiddle my fucking thumbs because I know I've only got a certain amount of hours left to do this. It's a very useful way to live. And then the biggest idea, the most foundational, I keep saying foundational, but the biggest idea I think inside of deep work is once you actually get down to that work, once you have your time block, you need to work, bro. So when you set these maybe 3 or 4 hours and you say, okay, and this is what you should actually do, by the way, this isn't just me, whatever, storytelling here. You got your 3 hour period and you've got to say, look, right, for the next 3 hours, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to achieve this. And then you do it. You turn off your phone. You take it out of the room, bro. If you're not doing stuff that needs the internet, you turn off your Wi-Fi. If you're sat in a distracting place, you close your blinds. You put your headphones on, but you don't listen to music. You just block out the sound. You dial in completely to the work that you're doing. And you're in a completely distraction-free environment. Because like we spoke about in the social media video that we just made, your brain can't multitask. There's no such thing really as multitasking. Multitasking is just task switching. And when you get your brain to do that, it can never focus on one true thing. And say, for example, you have a phone next to you where you're working. Well, on average, studies have shown that the individual checks their phone once every between 1 and 5 minutes. Well, if you're checking your phone every 5 minutes while doing work, then you are not focused on your work fully for a single minute of that. Do you know how powerful that is to never have focus? How kind of bad that's been for your entire life. The fact that every single time you've ever sat down to work, you've been on your phone and distracted. And do you know how much power you can unlock if you get rid of distraction in your life? If you can work for a solid 3 hours, start to finish, where you just do the work. Well, you can get more done in that 3 hours than 12 hours when you have your phone next to you. So that's a very important idea of deep work. And I think that's essentially what it boils down to, is time blocking quality over quantity and this idea of engineering your environment. And again, that's quite hard for different people. And I've spoke to a few people on the calls that I do about this kind of idea of environmental engineering and creating an environment where you can work properly. And the advice I give to a lot of people actually is to change their environment, because so many people, and this used to be me, would work in, say, their bedrooms. And if you live with your parents, maybe it's the same thing. You do all your work inside of your bedroom, but that's also the room where you chill out and you sleep in, and you've got your guitar in the corner and your computer over there, and there's distraction everywhere. So what I say to a lot of people is go and find your nearest library and work there if you're serious about it. Go to a library and do some real work. Or if you're living in a house, separate a part of a room, a living room, that you can use for work, one where you're not doing other things. And then set defined boundaries and rules for those areas. So for example, at the library, set a rule that your phone turns off. Or you can use modes and routines on your phone where they automatically turn on when you enter a certain place. That's a good tip I used to use. But engineer your environment, to reduce every single possible distraction. Go through them step by step and say, okay, how can I make it so my desk literally just looks like the blank desk and whatever I'm doing for work right now. That is the ideal. The ideal is that you have a desk that's blank with your laptop in the middle of it and nothing else, and you sit there for 3 hours and you fucking work. Anyway, if you gained any value from that video, there we go, drop a subscribe and come chat to me on Discord or give me a call. I'm so proud of you, brother. Manifest excellence, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.